Okay, so we've got Ottomans versus English. And I'll go through how I attempted to play this, mindful that English are quite good early game, as I've mentioned previously. So standard start. Trying to keep everything fairly close to the town centre, because again, you want to watch out for the longbows when and if they come. Making good use of the fishing spots. Started to put a reasonable number on gold. Seven minutes in, you should have the military schools up by now. And there we go for next stage. So they're starting to raid, this time without longbows. For some reason they've gone king and scout, which is an odd decision. I would suggest that this was perhaps slightly easier than usual. They would usually be raiding with longbows at the moment, which makes it much harder. So this is really, to be honest, not the way to play English. We're 11 minutes in and they've just let me kind of develop my econ. They've gone for Abbey of Kings, which is, I'd suggest, not the strongest of the two options with English. Population 43 for me, military 10, and then for them population 48, military 5, but the difference being that because they're leaving me, they're allowing Ottomans, who are much better later on, to get Janissaries and build up a decent force, whereas English are strong early game and then weaker late game. So really, if you get to about 18 minutes in with Ottomans, you've probably won. In terms of income per minute, I'm doing better on a couple of things: gold, stone. Oh, I think I just messed up with I just got my scout kill, but it doesn't really matter. They're a bit late to Castle Age, and they've, as I say, allowed me to kind of progress to Castle Age pretty much unmolested, which is an error on their part. So now we're coming up on 18 minutes. And that's about the time that I normally can get a decent force together. The priority is making units, obviously, at this point. I don't have that many upgrades there, but you know, you need the army before the upgrades, I'd suggest. And indeed before trying to move into Imperial. Yeah, so if it gets to this point and the English haven't attacked, they're going to really struggle. Their income per minute is much, much better than mine, which is interesting. I wonder if that means... So I'm Econ 67, Military 77, switch over. Econ 84, Military 77. They've prioritised developing their Econ at the expense of their military, and at about 20 minutes in, that's really not gonna... That's not a good idea, not with English. So I'm kind of just going... My plan is to go round a little bit and try and avoid where I might be seen too obviously. So I do want to surprise them if I can, but I'm not massively bothered if I don't manage to kind of go around and take out the soft targets. I send this Sapphire, if that's the right pronunciation, to scout this gold mine. He then quickly gets killed because he finds the main army that they're putting together. Veteran longbowmen. But again, veteran longbowmen at this point, they're going to lose to Janissaries unless there's a significant numbers advantage on their side. And there is a bit of a numbers advantage, as you can see. So my priority, I decide, is to take out the king first of all. Just makes sense. Quite a nice little attack this. I'm still kind of vaguely trying to get around here to destroy as many villages as possible, but don't quite manage it, so I just consolidate here and try and defend the mangonels that I can, which I do reasonably well. So this is quite a nice demonstration of... And where are they? They really should have gone for longbows, I'd suggest. Nice demonstration of the quality of the Ottoman troops, especially when they've got man-at-arms taking the brunt of the damage and Janissaries taking out those that kind of get round. So that's what you want men-at-arms to be taking the brunt of the damage, and then Janissaries to be just kind of bringing the muskets to bear on the enemy. Ultimately quite a good little victory there, and then they're going to struggle to come back from that, even if their econ is kind of wildly better than mine. It's notable that I'm coming up to the next stage, and so I'm putting... Oh, going the wrong way. Putting villagers ready to go to create a Seagate castle, and I'm fairly... I presume that in that attack I've destroyed most of their military units, and so I'm quite aggressive in my placement of the castle. I decide that's a bit too far away, Probably wasted some resources there, but oh well. And I just go ahead and place it here. Therefore being in range of some of their buildings. Obviously the ideal would be to kind of place it here or place it somewhere else, but at least here I've got cover of this gold source. And eventually I'll be taking out that Abbey of Kings, which is always useful. Slightly undisciplined in micro-management of these units. I guess because I'm concentrating on various other things at once, I'm having to... yeah, so that I should have kept them together, obviously, that was a bit silly. This is 57 villages, so I wanted to put the castle up as fast as possible. And I just thought I might as well take the gold. So this was a slight error. I should have kept the units together. Because they complement each other and they don't work anyway, anything like as well without kind of being together. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter hugely because I have, as I say, kind of got the massive advantage right now. In terms of income per minute, that's obvious. They've got very few now on farms, even if they were kind of dominating. Yeah, I don't really want them to take out my villages, so I do garrison them. And try and avoid that as much as possible. If they had lots of longbowmen, they should have really put them up here and just stopped me getting on that gold. They'd probably potentially be out of range. No, then maybe not actually. They could have kind of come in and out, I don't know. At this point it is quite difficult for them to win, as I said. The only thing they could have done, I guess, is just ignored what was happening here and gone round, tried to take out soft targets that they could find down here, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be pretty tough to make that work. My plan is very much to just send a few units round and keep harassing farmers and gold miners and traders if they have any. At the same time putting a decent force here so that if they did try and counterattack properly... Oh right, I take out some trebuchets. I thought it was worth taking out the trebuchets. I probably do lose a little bit too many units to justify it, but there we are, that's what I decided to do. At the same time I'm creating my own trebuchets to start getting rid of this white tower and getting on their town centre. I'm losing a bit of wood by having to repair the Seagate Castle all the time, but I don't really mind. Because as I say, my econ is fine to sustain that. And I'm equally doing a lot of damage to their white tower, so as long as it doesn't actually fall, I think I can sustain a little bit of damage. And then I bring the trebuchets to bear on their trebuchets. Create a couple more. I think they do rush them in a minute, and it does catch me out a little bit. I'm also putting kind of little forces coming around, just try and take out some soft targets up here. There you go, that was quite good. They rushed me and then... Although it does mean they lose a lot of units. And they aren't able to take out this one. So let's see. Yeah, so... doing the standard thing of taking out villages on the gold mine. I do eventually start using the mangonel, but I get a bit distracted. Janissaries are obviously really good at taking out villages, so my plan is to put them about there. And that's pretty much the English rolled up. Don't know what else they could do at this point really. And they surrender.